Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets, and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
We have made it to Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is a gorgeous day here at the Players. It started off a little cloudy this morning, and I was like, man, we've been telling everyone how beautiful it's going to be on Friday and Saturday. But those clouds moved out, and the sun is shining, and I think this tournament could not get any better than it is right now. I don't know which microphone Tom's in.
Okay, here we go.
No, that's not
it.
That's
Do you want
one.
this other one?
Here, I think I got you.
Got me?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, how's that? Is that better?
We're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But yes, I feel like I walked up this morning and I was like, wow, it's actually kind of chilly. And I had my little sweater on and everything. And then as I started walking over to the pro shop, I was like, okay, it's actually a little warm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 4:30 this morning, like dog's got to go out. Out. It is whipping like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, the wind was crazy this
I'm like, wow, this is going to be a problem for the golfers today. And no wind out here. A little breeze, but nothing like it was. It was absolutely whipping around this morning.
I knew that it was going to start off pretty windy and then it was going to calm, like it is now.
It's beautiful now, man.
Now if you're a golfer, this is the weather that you want on a Friday afternoon. Yeah. By the way, the Florida and Kentucky game, that quarterfinal in the SEC men's basketball tournament, just went to half. Florida is up 37-28 over Kentucky and has 9 rebounds more than Kentucky, which you'd expect.
Yeah.
Florida's a better rebounding team than Kentucky is, but that game, like I told y'all, it's always going to make me nervous. But yeah, Florida is up at the half, and that is good news. And then have y'all seen how good Xander Schauffele is doing today on the golf course? He is playing some unbelievable golf.
Schauffele, and then also your guy Cam Young's up there playing.
That's right,
really
he
well.
is.
He's 9 under. Schauffele's 10 under.
Beautiful.
He's done for the day. Obviously, Cameron Young's on 17 right now, along with Corey Connors, who's also 9 under on 17. But yeah, I mean, Schauffele is playing incredible today, and I feel like
shot 7 under.
7 under.
Schauffele did.
Yep.
Yeah. That group of guys, all 3 of those, because Cam Young was 5 under and Corey Connors was 6 under, so a good day for those 3 all together. But yeah, I love Schauffele. He's I always tell this story, or I think I've told it a few times on here. The first year I ever did Players Championship at all, I was doing the perch that year, so we kind of just stand back there and I would get people to come do interviews with Rick or Joe or whoever was on air at the time,
and they come off the golf course,
yeah,
they would do their scorecard and then they would go to
there. And so he was one of the first golfers that they were like, here, this is, and I'm like, I have no idea how to say this man's last name, and he was also had just won Rookie of the Year the year before that, so he was new, up and coming. And I remember sending the text to Rick Ballou like, hey, here's who you're getting, and he's like, make sure we know how to say his name right. And so we figured it all out. But that was just, it's funny to think back of that, of the start of it. And now we've seen, what he's done since then pretty much every year. I feel like he's competing here. But yeah, good day for him.
And he's a good guy.
Yeah,
I saw him signing autographs earlier, and every year watching him. Look, the crowds are gathering and building, and that's the other fun part
it's
too.
Exciting,
is at some point during our show over the next 2 hours, we'll hear a roar.
Oh yeah.
We won't know exactly who it is or what they've done until we can see it here. But we're live here at Trucks on 10. So if you're out walking or if you're going to come to the golf course this afternoon, stop by and say hello. We've had so many different people stop by.
Oh my gosh!
Over the course,
we had 2 former winners on Jaguars today. Tim Clark said something really interesting because I asked him, what day is the most stressful?
Right.
And he's like, well, cut day, I was pretty close. Like, I had to make the cut. Now, he's like, I felt like I was playing good golf, but I was, like, right on that line to making it and getting into the weekend. And then he's like, from there, I felt great. And then he told the story how he got up on 17 on Sunday, and he's like, I just had to tell myself to just go for it.
Yeah.
And he's like, you'd be surprised how, like, the wind, and then I'm trying to, like, get in the more. I'm like, man, that must have been unbelievable. And then he makes, par, a great, there was the wind, caused fat, but he makes a great shot, makes par. And then he's like, and then on 18, I feel unbelievable. Like, I'm going to stroke
like I could
this
do
ball.
anything.
Yeah, it was really cool to
that is cool.
see him talk about it and light up about it. And And man, it's just special. I mean, look, 123. You got to earn your way in, like we talked about. It's the best of the best. And as a guy that really struggles with golf, man, I'm always enamored with people that can do great things.
And make
you
it
know
look
what I mean?
easy.
And make it look easy. Like you see these guys teeing off at 16. It's so smooth. Like when I go out that one, I'm like, wow! Like, my whole body goes just in different directions. And they're just like, whoop. Wham! And it goes a mile straight down. It's just so beautiful. And just think about, I always think about like, and especially in golf. Here's the 123. Well, what about 124, 125, 120? Like they're so close that it's so hard to be a pro at the in golf. You know what I mean? It's just so difficult.
Like think about
if
you were to shoot par, that would be the greatest round of your life. And for these guys, shooting par is a very disappointing day, depending on the course and the conditions. Yeah,
right,
but
right.
for out here, they didn't want to shoot par. They want to shoot like what Xander did, which was shoot a 65 today. And then, like Taylor said, Cameron Young out on the golf course right now.
Good job, Cam.
And he is through 17, so he's finishing up as we speak. Corey Connors. So Xander's 10 under for the tournament. Cameron Young 9 under so far. Same with Corey Connors 9 under.
Day.
Those two playing together, and then Sepp Straka, the Austrian.
Oak.
The
AO.
Austrian, not Australian,
Yeah.
but the Austrian.
AO is his nickname. Did you know that?
Yes, I heard you talk about that.
Yes.
Sepp Straka is 7 under. He's the one that Smitter told us is Austrian.
Yep.
However, he has a Southern accent, which I listened to him speak yesterday post round, and I was like, it's not a thick Southern accent.
Yeah.
But
grew up in Georgia.
But yeah,
Right,
he did.
Valdosta.
What is really interesting to me on the golf broadcast is the moment that they finish playing, they go on the set, and then basically they're asked to kind of give a play-by-play of what they're seeing. I'm like, I'd be like, I just finished. Like, I don't want to.
Can I have a minute?
Yeah, I don't want to sit here and then tell you exactly what's happening with this golfer. I want to go decompress.
Yeah,
but they're all the ones I watched were really good at it. I was like, imagine if we had a football player finish a game and then literally go right to, like, let's say
the booth
AFC
and have to analyze
and then go to the
8 o'clock game. Like you play and then you have to go cover the 8 o'clock game tonight.
Right, like we would never ever do that.
Yeah,
and so I know it's only for like 5-10 minutes, but still they were all really good, including Sepp Straka.
Man, I come home from shooting the horse's mouth. Christine was like, "Who was on the show?" I'm like, some really good people.
It was a great day.
It was an awesome day. Who was on it? Well, let me think.
Other than when we were on, he was like,
right.
Fantastic.
That's right.
The venerable
I
Lauren
do-
Brooks and Taylor.
I do that on our show sometimes. Like I'll go back into the office and Trent will be like, "Oh, how was the day? Did you guys have anything that we could cut up?" And I'm like, "I can't remember what we talked about."
Yeah.
Like unless there's some sort of crazy breaking news, you just kind of I feel like when you do it every day, your mind you're on autopilot at times.
I mean,
just
look,
going.
like any sport, you know when the shot's bad. Like like Cam was saying about kicking. You know immediately when you hit the ball that it's either good or it's not good. You know what I mean? And then these guys, the mental grit that and tough. Like you have a bad shot. Like you're in the lead, someo's coming behind you. You're trying to make the cut. And you have a bad shot with like 2 to go, and you're like, you know what I mean? Like that's just unbelievable.
When you're on 16, you're like, let's say you hit in the fairway, so you're doing well on par 5. Looking over at you, just staring and beckoning you is 17. And if a golfer in front of you, if let's say there's a wind gust or if there's not, and they just mishit it, and that ball goes in the water, and then there's all the crowd oohing and awing, or the opposite, I guess, if it's going in the water, they're going,
right.
You're hearing all that, you're seeing all that, and then you're approaching all that, and I can only imagine what it's like on Sunday. If you're in contention and you look at 17.
Yeah. Steve Elkington, who we had on early too, he said 18 is like the most daunting. 17's got its own, but 18 to finish
and the alligator
is really unbelievable.
And the people,
really daunting.
Like the surrounding, especially when you're teeing off. I mean, there's usually pretty big crowds. No matter who you are, there's a big crowd standing, and they're just, I mean, from you and me away from each other, and you have to swing like that.
Precision's everything
for
out here.
And like you said, it's the mental toughness. It's being able to not back down, and not to use the Tom Petty and like what the Gators do, but it really is being able to focus on each swing. That's all you can focus on. And at the end of the day, we've got some really good names on the leaderboard. A few that I feel like people aren't as familiar with. Lee Hodges is 6 under for the tournament. Jacob Bridgman also 6 under for the tournament. Austin Smotherman, he is 6 under also for the tournament. And then Maverick McNeely, who was the leader, one of the leaders as yesterday ended. The interesting story about him is he is very wealthy. Like his family has a ton of money, but yet he grinds it out on the PGA
Who are we
Tour.
talking about?
Maverick McNeely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With a name like that, he better be wealthy. What, they watch Top Gun or something? Like, hey, let's name him Maverick. That sounds cool, but
Yeah,
good for
probably.
him. Hey, man, we know how tough it is to get here. Whether you come for money or not, it's still a very, very challenging game. And the practice is unbelievable. You know, you hear like stories of, you know, how many shots the Tigers would take. You know, just all of them. You know, and I'm not just talking like tee.
Yeah.
You know, then you're doing like your sand game, and then you're doing the chipping game, and then you're putting, and then you're working on your mid game and your long iron game. And like there's so many aspects to it, and you got to hit so many shots to perfect your swing. It's just incredible. And again, I joke about it, but it's amazing they all swing one way. You know, you swing the other way in training, like just to keep the symmetrical, aspect of it. But it truly is, man. It's amazing what what the elite can do with that golf ball.
Yeah.
You know.
So I just looked it up. McNeely's dad went to Harvard and then got his master's at Stanford, and then McNeely went to Stanford. So that's part of that family history there for him. All right, we'll keep the Players Championship conversation going. Absolutely gorgeous day. Here we are live at Trucks on 10. We'll also get into some Jaguars news. Obviously, General Manager James Gladstone spoke yesterday, and then Chris Rodriguez spoke today. So we'll talk about that and what else is going on in the NFL. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Bought for you by Queen Law Group on 1010XL. From the opening tee shot to the final putt on 18. Track your favorite golfers and get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teamed up by
Capital Glass and Shower Doors.
Taco Lou.
and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard update.
Welcome back. I'm Max Fink with another Players Update. This one brought to you by Renewal by Anderson and Wingstop. We've got a solo leader in the clubhouse. Xander Schauffele put together the round of the tournament so far, going 7 under today. He had 8 birdies, one at 4, one at 1, 4, 8, 9, 11, 14, 15, and 16. He hit 14 of 14 fairways, 16 of 18 greens, and only had 28 putts. So a great round from Xander. Just behind him, Cam Young and Corey Connors are knotted up at 9 under par. Sepp Straka at 7 under, joined by Ludwig Oberg, who had the best start we've seen all tournament. He birdies 1, eagles 2, and just birdie 3. So it's been a great start for Ludwig today. Beautiful weather down on the course. It's about 71 degrees with a 9-mile-an-hour northwest wind. So looks like we have some good scoring conditions today. And Cam Young just finished up his round. He finished 9 under today. So this has been another Players Update. This one brought to you by G&H Tire Service.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, checked by Bowden Iron Associates.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. Big Chief Tire makes getting new tires easier than ever with the Big Chief credit card. There's no annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations. Even $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything at Big Chief Tire. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and let Big Chief help you get back on the road with confidence.
If you're the kind of person who likes to compete and win, listen up. Purple Heart Pools is hiring sales professionals and project managers to start immediately. Purple Heart Pools is a veteran-owned company building some of the most impressive custom pools in Northeast Florida. And they're looking for people who want to grow, earn, and be part of a winning team. If you've got the drive, work ethic, and the leadership mindset, search Purple Heart Pools and apply today. Equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? It's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity on your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Prosser here. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto in a matter of days. They had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact, didn't even need an appraisal, and with all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too. LoanPronto.com, the rapid equity loan program, can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it. Consolidated all their high-interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine, pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier. Get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows. Call Loan Pronto today, 904-999-1500. That's 904-999-1500. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
All right, Jack, so let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Jaguars general manager James Gladstone met the media yesterday, but I think even more interesting than some of his comments, the fact that they actually are restructuring now. Tom, we've been wondering about this restructuring for a while, and so we saw earlier today, Jacoby Myers, the Jaguars converted $4.7 million of that salary into a guaranteed roster bonus. Good day for Jacoby.
Yeah, he's like, sure.
Yeah, clearing $3.76 million of the 2026 cap space. That's a guy that they know they're going to have around.
Yeah.
So makes sense. And then also, Logan Cook, they converted $3.2 million of his salary into a signing bonus, and that clears $2.56 million in cap space. So also Logan Cook, the punter, they know he's going to be around. So those two deals made sense to me.
Yeah, you'll push that money down the road because, they're going to perform at a high level and they'll be around. Mm-hmm. It was interesting, the whole the compensatory picks theme. It's all about the picks, and I get it. I mean, look, you can't. I don't think many teams, well, I shouldn't say that, but it's hard to spend every year. Like go out in the free agent and just spend. And then, you got to have that strategy with the draft picks. I keep thinking you always talk about Liam at that end of the year presser, and he was so distraught. And I keep thinking was last season, were they thinking hey, this is we're surprised, but this is our shot because next year we're going to have to unload guys. Right. We're going to have to go through the draft. We're going to have to, you know what I mean? And now that's the strategy. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If they could go out there and grab a big splash, I think they would. But that's not their game plan right now. And, and I'm a little disappointed in two ways. One is I did want to see some addition on that defensive front. Could still happen, right? A Joey Bosa, per se. You know what I mean? 1 year, 5 years. You know what I mean? You're not going to cost you a bunch, maybe. That's one. Number two, and it's only because of history, I feel like it's that same we're just going to run it back with our guys. We've seen that before. 2022, the next year, we got 21 to 22 guys coming back. We're good. We don't need to really add that much. We're going to take last year and go into next year, and we're all going to be good. And we saw what happened. It didn't work out. It happened in 2007. We're one player away. Remember, they drafted the kid from Florida with the first round. They moved all that capital up to get him a number. Dwight Harvey.
Dwight Harvey.
Not Dwight Harvey, but Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't turn out to really do anything, and it didn't take them to that next step. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. Now, with that being said, the caveat is there's still time to add to this roster, and I think they will. And I think that's what James was trying to say. Hey, look, even though we didn't go out full speed in free agency and grab these big name players, we're going to get enough capital to where when we need somebody like a Jacoby Myers, we're going to be able to go get him during the season or after June 1 or whatnot. So I would like to have seen more. I do think Chris Rodriguez there's a reason he's here. I don't think it's just to fill the room and compete. I think there's more to it. But whatever. Look, at the end of the day, you got to win. You got to win. They were off 13 wins. So I'm not going to sit there and be like, James is, I don't know. Who knows until we see the product on the field. Yeah. Right? But that's the only caveat in the back.
They're not running it back per se this year.
No, they're losing people.
Exactly.
Right, so it's even worse than that.
They've gone on, in theory, they've gone backwards. But we can't evaluate what this roster is going to look like yet, Taylor, because there is still time to do those things, whether it's at a lower tier free agent or obviously we don't know what the draft looks like yet. Yeah. If they come out of the draft with a linebacker or a defensive tackle and they're able to package and maybe move up or even get one at 56 that we didn't think was going to be there, then we're sitting here going, maybe they are a better football team, because that's the goal at the end of the day. It's not just how little money do we have, what little things can we do. It's how do we get better, because we were in the playoffs, but we didn't win a game.
Yeah. And that's what to me, it's interesting because I think that I like balance of using free agency and the draft. And I think that the teams that have been successful have been good at both of those things. And we just talked last year, the two teams in the Super Bowl spent the most in free agency last year. So I don't know if we live in this world where you can just count on the draft, because there's just so much unpredictability of the players that you're getting and what what's coming out of that, what if there's injury issues or what's going on. And I do think that in the free agency, you have a better sense of if that player does have, injury issues in the NFL, or if they had recently, you have a better idea of that player at the NFL level and what they've done. And so I don't love that you didn't have at least one big move in free agency, because I do think that especially to me, the defensive line is somewhere that you really could have capitalized in that area, whether it's interior or on the outside. The linebacker room, I'm not as worried about. We're hearing how deep the linebacker draft is. Running backs, not great, but you get Chris Rodriguez. I think you're okay there. But I think there's other areas where you could have capitalized in free agency and known what type of player you're going to have, rather than this unpredictability, because you have a giant TBD of the draft last year. You only saw a half a season of Travis Hunter. You never saw Caleb Ransaw. Milam and Monheim, we've heard good things, but you don't know. You got Tootin, and that's like the main thing, but then you would bring in a running back. So what do you even know that you're expecting from Tootin moving forward? And then you have a pass blocking running back that you're hoping can be in that pass catching game, but you don't even know that. There's a massive TBD question mark on the draft next year, and then now you're adding that a whole other year and list of players. And so in the sense of trying to trade up in the draft, there's still so much unpredictability for me. If they're getting all these comp picks and maybe you end up post-June, whatever happens in that, and there's somebody out there that's still available, or you want to use a trade and you have all this draft capital that you want to use that, I would just like a proven player to come in, and I think that having a veteran guy in certain positions, and especially the defensive line, it would benefit this team right now, because I do think the run defense was great, but there was other areas when we talk about the pass rush across the whole line that there were issues. Even to me, offensive line, I think that they're ranked 20th, 21st in most people rankings. It wasn't terrible. Trevor still got sacked 40 times. We can go to, it was the 2 games that was 14. That was 2 defensive teams. So 2 of the better defensive lines. So next year, every time we play a good defensive line, are we going to say, it's because there was a good defensive line? No, you need players that can battle those top defensive players, and you clearly didn't have that last year. And I think those trenches are where the free agency, to me, we've seen a lot of teams really hit in free agency when it comes to the trenches, and it changes your teams fast.
Yeah, I will. I'll add to that. I agree with that. I think if you kept Lloyd, I'd feel even better. And man, the accolades that James Gladstone threw out at Lloyd in his presser, like, so why do you keep him? And I know everyone's like, well, the scheme made him. Well, it's your scheme. It's coming back. So why not take the all-pro from your scheme and keep him, especially at that number? And that threw me off, but whatever. I don't agree with James. And look, he knows better than me, but just my opinion, you don't have his replacement on the roster. You do not. You may have partial replacements like Ventrell can play part of his game, but you don't have it on the roster right now. So now you got to go get somebody that's going to replace. I think the closest guy that's to Devin Lloyd is Gardeck. Really, I really do think he could probably play Will. I think he could rush the passer a ton more.
Well, if he can play the snaps
I don't know if
that
he
Devin
can cover
Lloyd
as
had
well.
last year, then you just paid a guy $3 million versus $45 million.
Well, it's if though. It's an if.
Sure,
I mean,
an if.
but Devin Lloyd to me, like, I don't know. I think I hope they don't regret that they let him walk at that number. I thought that number was a good number.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we do feel like here's a guy that had 5 interceptions. How are you going to replace that? And if we think Jack Kaiser is more middle linebacker, so that's backing up Foye, right? So then you didn't draft last year. You didn't draft Devin Lloyd's replacement, right? Like, why did you draft a middle linebacker last year instead of because last year you didn't think you'd necessarily
even get that out of Lloyd,
right? Or you didn't really think you'd keep him. Otherwise, you would have put the 5th-year option on him. And so I'm not being critical yet of that draft class or that draft pick, I should say. But I am curious as to the strategy as it moves forward.
Well, look, the way Devin's built is he's not built like a Will. Most Wills are smaller and just fast. You know what I mean? So he's more than just a Will backer. But whatever, he's gone. But you just got to figure out that replacement, whoever that is. I like Combs. I know James mentioned him, but he's not ready. I saw him get engulfed by linemen last year in spot duty, so he's got a lot of work to do. He's a little undersized, but as a Will, you don't have to be that big. You just got to be quick. But again, you pay for what the future is going to bring you, and I think
guess
Devin,
they didn't love his future with them
in their scheme. Then he became an All-Pro, and I don't know how that happens.
Right, but if it was $18 million per year, none of us would question it. But because of the fact that it was $15 million per year, isn't that an indication to us that they didn't think that his future was going to be as good as it was this past season?
Well, the league didn't, right?
I mean, the Jaguars. Like the fact that the Jaguars didn't for the 3 years, $45
the
million.
league didn't. The league didn't see $20 million that people were saying. The Jags didn't even see the $15 million. It feels
was
27.
Correct.
Yeah, that was no way that was
No,
happening. No
it was
way.
absurd that it's even there. Right, but just because they feel it doesn't mean they're right. We got to find out if they're if they replace it. Yeah, it's great. There's no worries whatsoever. But right now, you don't have it on the roster, like James said. I think you got to go make sure that you replace what he brings to the table.
Which then might pigeonhole you a little bit early in the draft. With whether it's your second round or one of your third rounders, that you have to take a linebacker.
Well, yeah.
If you don't think it's on the roster now.
Well, I mean, look, you're going to hope Ventrell's partially it, right?
And I think he can be that. And then if he's not the best pass rusher, you put Gardeck in on those obvious passing downs, and then maybe
right. But they didn't do that with Lloyd either. You know what I mean? It's not like they lined him up as a pass rusher on pass rushing downs. He's just
that's what you would have liked to see a little bit
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, did in college.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason. I mean, look at him getting $12 million for, it's a different story, but it's like changing his
play
position.
Play him at the right spot. Imagine what can happen.
Right.
By the way, speaking of former Jaguars, I know you saw this, Taylor. Tom, did you see how Travis Etienne would like his last name to be pronounced
I heard,
from now on?
Well, he's back home in Cajun land.
But I thought that would be Etienne, like etouffee, not A-chan.
Yeah.
A-chan.
That doesn't, those are all silent letters.
Well, Creole's kind of French, isn't it? I mean,
Creole
from the
is French,
yeah, so it's a little Frenchy. I don't know. Whatever. Call himself whatever. You're the saint. So
what I've always said is tell us how you want your name
in the beginning,
pronounced right when you get here or right when you get to college, and we will adapt and adjust no matter how difficult it is.
Yeah, we can we'll learn it, and that's the thing. Even honestly, that's probably easier if you would have just said it was A-chan. other than Etienne, because then other people would say Etienne all the time. And so we even had conversations, and that's why I've seen a lot of like the Saints media kind of bashing Jacksonville and of how we've been saying his name wrong and nobody ever asked. And I'm like, we had so many conversations when he first got here of, is it Etienne? Is it Etienne? What is it? And that was never mentioned whatsoever. So that's why I asked you earlier. I asked you to send me one of the like game day media guys, because it has that how to pronounce his name, and it literally says an E, a T, and an N.
Right.
So I was like, number one, we had this discussion, and he never corrected anybody. And in the media guide, if it was like, I'm guessing you have conversations with the guys of let's make sure when we're typing how to say your name, this is how it is. So if we put a letter E and a letter T and a letter N, that to me is Etienne.
Yeah.
And that's why on the broadcast when he scored the touchdown, what was that? Was it the
Etienne
Bills game
zone.
or before that? Yeah, it was before that. Etienne zone. Right.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have said that if it was Achan.
He's a grown man. If you don't like the way people are saying your name, just say, hey, that's not how you say
right.
my
And
name.
also, he has a brother that played college football at 2 different schools, and his brother plays in Carolina for the Panthers. So is that how they say his name?
Yeah, his brother's probably like, oh, now I got to tell everybody.
Come on, Trev. Give me work to do.
I mean,
which they're in the same division now. I just thought about that today. That's kind of fun.
It is different, like when Josh Hines Allen added the Hines to his last name because of family history. That's completely different. Just changing the way you say your last name, that's an interesting thing. All right, more to do. By the way, it is now 45-32 Florida with about 15 minutes left to play. So about 5 minutes gone in the second half. Please do not say that. I'm going to knock on wood now. But we have had people come up and be like, my service is terrible. Can you guys give us the score?
Yeah.
So if you do want to listen to the game, not saying turn us off, but if you want to listen to the game, it is over on 1010 AM right now.
And if you'd like to drop off a garment for us to hold for you while you hang out all day long, feel free. Why not?
So we are sweater watchers also now.
That was a random thing.
We need like a waiver for them to sign, like,
or
hey, we're
maybe
not
some
responsible.
cash.
Like, thanks for the cute sweater.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, by the way, just shout out to St. John's Sheriff's Office. They are doing excellent work out here today, so we appreciate all that they are doing.
For sure.
Shout out to the boys in green for keeping us all safe. All right, more to do on the other side. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies. Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Max Fink back again with another Players Championship update. This one brought to you by Firehouse Subs. Xander Schauffele may be the leader, but Ludwig Oberg is absolutely stealing the show with the best start that we've seen here in a while. After birdieing 1, eagling 2, and birdieing 3, it looked like that his birdie streak was going to come to an end on 4 after he had an awkward lie just atop the bunker. And sure enough, he chips in to make his 4th consecutive birdie. Ludwig's now just 2 shots back at 8 under par, and no sign of him stopping, although he did just go a little bit left on his last drive. But Oberg, local guy, definitely somebody to keep an eye on. A little bit further down the leaderboard, we've got guys like JT at 4 under. Victor Hovland just birdied number 2, so he shot up to 4 under. Russell Henley still 4 under. And Jordan Spieth, fan favorite, he had a great round today. 4 under on today's round, 3 under total, so he's right back in the mix. Tony Finau 3 under par, Max Homa 3 under par, Akshay Bhatia 3 under par. So lots of big names all over the leaderboard. I think it's going to be a great day. Great scoring, 71 degrees, sunshine. You can't ask for much more. We'll be back in about 20 minutes, but for now, this has been another Players Update brought to you by Campione Law.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Discover downtown Jacksonville's newest go-to spot. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville brings you 2 floors of over 80 self-pour craft beers, wines and cocktails, plus live sports, live music, and private event space. And right next door, Pizza Dynamo fires up made-to-order pizzas, slices and calzones, packed with bold flavor. Pair a pint with a fresh pie at Pizza Dynamo and Pour Tap Room, downtown at Laura and Forsyth.
If you've ever sat in a dealership waiting room, you know the coffee's cold, the magazines are old, and your oil change takes forever. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, it's completely different. No appointment, no waiting room. You stay in your car, and the techs get it done in 15 minutes. That's why Valvoline holds a 4.7 national rating, and Forbes named them #1 quick lube in America for customer service. Don't waste your day at a dealership. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, easy, done.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
You want a new fence, but you don't want the hassle. That's why there's Superior Fence and Rail. They're the best in town, offering lightning-fast one-day installations, plus a lifetime labor warranty for total peace of mind. And here's the best part. Book by March 17th, and they'll take down and haul away your old fence for free, up to a $500 value. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal.
Stand back, Jason. I'm gonna
Sneeze? Yeah, I saw that coming.
It's all this spring pollen, Jason. It's outside and it's inside my house, and I just can't stop. I can't stop.
Sneezing? Okay, let me help you with that.
How can you help?
At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can improve your indoor air quality with air purifiers, UV lights, and filtration systems. Every new system we install includes high-efficiency 4-inch filters that work better and last longer, even if you forget to change them.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Life can get pretty dusty sometimes. If you spend all day, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
We go together, better than birds of a feather, you and me.
The week is just rolling on here. We've got conference basketball tournaments. We've got the Players' Championship. Tom McManus is here. Taylor Dahl. I'm Lauren Brooks, live here outside of Trucks on 10. RJ Saunders back at World Headquarters, back from Orlando. RJ, how was it last night? The Magic won, correct?
Magic did win, but they certainly did make it interesting at the end, allowing the Washington Wizards to score 42 in the fourth.
42. Geez.
Yeah, 15.
The same Wizards that allowed Bam Adebayo to score 83.
They're just letting people score.
Absolutely. Yeah, and also Bilal Coulibaly had 15 of his 29 points in the final 2 minutes of the game en route to a comeback, and made a three to where I understand that it is not the greatest thing in the world to show emotion in the press box or while in the press box, but brother man was trying to go home. He hits the three, and I'm like, WTF. So Yeah, but no, great game for the Magic. That's now their 6th straight victory. Now number 5 in the Eastern Conference, looking to keep it up. But they will be going against the man who is now the 2nd highest scorer in an individual game in Bam Adebayo on the Miami Heat on Saturday. So Miami looking to probably snap the win streak of Orlando. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
It's crazy that guy's got to defend his 83 points. Like, shut up. Stop him. You know, he's like, yell at the manager. Don't look at me. Like, what do you want me to do?
But that's why people around the NBA were frustrated that they didn't even attempt really to stop him until it got later. But either way, it is what it is. We've moved on from that, but glad the Magic got the win.
If Kobe was still alive, would people be making such a big deal out of it? Because that's the deal, right?
Kobe would probably be making a big deal.
He passed Kobe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went Wilt 100 points.
Yeah.
And then it was Kobe 81 and now Bam 83.
83.
But Bam, what did he score last night? Like 20 or 21 points? So he's come back to reality.
Somebody else broke some other Wilt record yesterday too. I was like, this is just the week to break.
I did see that. It was SGA.
Yeah, SGA.
Consecutive points or consecutive games with over 20 points. All right, so earlier today I saw that the 2026 Forbes list came out as far as the wealthiest people in the world. So I now know where Shad Khan, me neither.
13th.
But by the way, some of the houses that I passed by
are wild.
On Ponte Vedra Boulevard and then also on Roscoe. Some of those people might be on this Forbes list, as a matter of fact. But Shad Khan is now the 193rd richest person in the world. Would you care to take a guess as to how much that man has as far as net worth?
I'm going to say $13 billion.
Okay. Taylor?
Oh, I'm bad at this.
That's okay.
My reference of money is just very off. I've figured out recently. He's very close.
He's close.
Okay, so I'll say 16 billion.
Okay, both really good guesses. He's right in the middle pretty much. $15 billion is the net worth, which I wonder if he had not purchased the Jaguars, where his net worth would be at this point in time because of how obviously much that is worth now.
What are the Jags? Like 5 and a hook, something
probably
like that?
$5 billion purchased for $760 million. So, like I said, I wonder without the Jags. But honestly, knowing Shad, he would have invested like he has done in other things, and I'm sure those would have.
Wait till the returns on the Four Seasons and everything. When they come in eventually.
Yeah, you're going to get one of those, right? So Taylor and I can stop by.
One of the penthouses.
Yeah, I thought Shad said I was getting one. I don't know. I got to confirm that with him.
It looks fantastic, by the way. I was just talking to someone this morning about that because the Jags knew like where the offices are for the Jags because they were inside the stadium. They've now moved over into the buildings, which are pretty much it's not attached to Four Seasons, but very, very close. And it's gorgeous over there. So I've heard it looks really nice in the new offices too. And they were like, it was nice because they didn't have windows or anything before when they were working in the stadium. So they're like, we feel a little more free and like we could see outside world.
Correct. Anytime, if you've ever worked in an area that doesn't have windows, and then you move to a place that has windows, it's literally like a dream come true. We know in our old studio, we didn't really have windows out to the outside. We had a window, but it was to the hallway. And now, we can see the outdoor weather. All right, by the way, update. It is now Florida 50, Kentucky 36 with 12:06 left to play. Again, you can hear that game on 10:10 a.m.
Not in control.
That is the quarterfinals in the SEC men's basketball tournament. Let's check in and see what is going on with the Players' Championship since we left off. As we knew, Xander Schauffele was the leader in the clubhouse. He shot. Well, he shot 7 under. He's now 10 under for the tournament. So that is excellent news for Xander Schauffele. And then Cameron Young and Corey Connors, both 9 under. And then a guy that is playing in also really well today, Ludwig Ober, is now 4 under today.
Okay.
Sepp Straka there in the clubhouse at 7 under. And so
I think mine's a tiny ahead. He's 5 under, 8 under for the 5 under for the round so far and 8 under total.
So even better. Bert had another birdie. So
Does it ever? I don't like when golf tournaments are like the winner's like 20 under.
Oh right.
You know what I mean? I like the course to give them more.
Was that
more
last
trouble.
year? It has been. They've gone low in the past, and it probably was last year because the weather was so nice. But I
like when they're fighting for that. I don't like when it's so bad, like the wind's so bad, but I do like when that course gives them a hard time. They don't like it.
Correct.
But I like it.
I like the 10-11s.
Okay. The British Open is where sometimes they're over par because that course is so incredible.
Yeah, I don't need that.
It's fun.
No, right.
I want
watch
to
them-
feel like they're better than me, which I know they are.
It's fun to see what they can do, though. There are moments, especially if like it's an eagle or something like that.
Yeah.
Like we saw Max Homa yesterday here
Yeah.
on 10. Like that's when you're just like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It would take me, I feel like a million tries to ever get an eagle, and I still wouldn't.
Yeah, I was already watching because I was standing by 10T for a while and watching guys tee off. And even that, I was watching, I'm like, what would my approach be to like how? And I was like, this would take me like 14 because I'd have to get it to like that first little bit. Then there's some water, and I'd have to try and get it to the across the water just enough to where it lands on that green. Because if not, you have to go all the way, and there's no way I'm hitting that. So I was like, this would take me a while to get down 10 on this one.
It's so narrow, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, and that for a lot of guys, and you guys know Thursday and Friday, they, 1 and 10 is where they tee off. So a lot of guys, that's their first
one,
hole.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, man.
Here we go.
That was the
And
case
there's
for Max
obviously
Homa
some
yesterday.
trees all on the
Get
left
on
side
it.
of it.
Yeah.
I heard that one of the first, I don't even know, Keegan Bradley and whoever was in that group with him was one of the guys. And sometimes you lose the ball when they hit it. And so I'm kind of like looking up, waiting to retrack it. And then I just hear trees, and I was like, oh, no.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
not
that.
a good sound.
I saw the video of Scotty Scheffler at 6, and they put in that tree last year, that big
Right.
oak
That's
tree.
right.
And yesterday he hit, and it almost hit the tree, but it went just underneath. But he's like bending, like get down.
Wow.
So the tree didn't quite get him, but it
Yeah.
was close.
Amazing what they can do with that little white ball.
100%. All right, Lawrence Lane awaits on the other side. You're listening to Helmets and Heels live from Trucks on 10, 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios. Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Written by Bowden Iron Associates.
Firehouse Subs is adding a new heavy hitter to the roster, the Chicken and Cheddar Rancher. Grilled chicken, melted cheddar, crispy bacon stacked high with fresh toppings and creamy buttermilk ranch. The Chicken and Cheddar Rancher, only at Firehouse Subs.
Northeast Florida isn't just where we work, it's our home. I'm Chris Campione, and when an accident turns your life upside down, you need a law firm that truly understands this community. At Campione Law, we treat our clients like neighbors, not case numbers, and you don't pay a dime unless we recover for you. From semi-truck accidents to medical malpractice and even workers' compensation, we handle it all. Visit CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Count on Campion, Campion Law.
The Jacksonville Icemen are in town for 3 games this weekend, starting Friday for Teacher Appreciation, presented by Community First Credit Union. Then Saturday, it's Wizards Night. Wear your house colors and watch the Icemen do battle in special Wizard-themed jerseys. Then Sunday at 3, it's Publix Family Fun Day. Take a shot on goal on the ice after the game. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksonvilleIcemen.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Iceman hockey is #Sub-Zero. Create a backyard your family will love. Jack's Outdoor Solutions, an authorized dealer of Celebrity Greens, installs PGA quality artificial turf golf greens and complete outdoor spaces. From turf to custom hardscapes, landscaping, and lighting, every project is built for style, durability, and family fun. Locally owned and trusted across Northeast Florida, customers rave about their results. Check their 5-star reviews on Google. Plan your dream backyard today at jacksoutdoorsolutions.com.
Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
Hey, Jacksonville
Jacksonville, David Garrard here. If you want a street-legal golf cart that's built with quality and style, check out Dynamic Drives and Designs in Jacks Beach. They have new, used, and fully customized carts from the top brands like Atlas, Dodge, and Pilot Car. Every cart gets a complete expert inspection, so you know it's ready to hit the road. Their team can help you design the perfect custom cart that fits your style and needs. For your custom golf cart, visit dynamicdrivesdesign.com today and see your perfect ride.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjacks.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Since you referenced Top Gun earlier,
Yes.
I think RJ was
Good
vibing
job,
with
RJ.
that.
Nice job. Maverick.
That's right.
You know, the character name in Top Gun is Pete Mitchell. So my friend
Oh,
Pete
yeah.
Mitchell went through his whole, he was like in high school when the original came out.
I love
so
that.
he had that going for him.
He was like, they named him
Yeah.
after me.
Yeah. And his nickname's always been Maverick, you know, throughout
Yeah.
the years and on football teams. Like, hey, Mav.
That's
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a great,
That'd be kind of cool.
great movie.
I've never seen
Oh.
either one.
Really?
Yeah. And when the second one, when the remake came out, everybody was like, "You have to go watch the original."
yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "I know,
Yeah.
I will one day."
Yeah.
One day.
Made it 35 years
I
without,
tell-
but I
I-
do want to watch it.
What's amazing, Tom Cruise does all those stunts. Like, he's insane with his stunts. Like, most people have stuntmen.
Yeah,
and
they're
people,
doubles.
he does them all.
Does he still?
Crazy. And he can
like,
fly. Yeah, he
even
can
in-
literally
what is he in
fly
now,
the
his
jets
60s?
himself. He's
Really?
unbelievable. Yeah, he was talking about, like, in an interview, like, he's been 9 Gs flying a jet before. Yeah, he's got all these pilot licenses and all this
Wow.
crazy stuff. Yeah.
I guess when you have
Oh,
that
wow.
much time on your hands and that
Time
much
and money
Making
can
all
give
that
you
money.
something.
Hey, let's go fly a jet.
Why not?
I
It
don't
is
know.
now about 10 minutes left to play in the game. Florida's up 54-40. Condon, last I saw, was the leading scorer.
much
in
left?
This one. About 10 minutes
Nah,
left.
you're not in it. You don't got it.
You're
yet.
not in it.
You're not- it's not in the bag
Too
yet.
much
You better
time.
Hold on.
Too
better
much
hold on.
time.
Hold on.
Yeah, Condon leads
Hold
the
on
team
strong.
with 20 points. Is the only Gator in double digits as of now.
Uh-oh.
So that's all right. Florida likes to
Yeah.
spread it around. That's for sure. All right, time now, RJ, for a little Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, in college baseball, conference play begins tonight. So Florida, the number 23 team in the country, plays host to South Carolina. The 3-game series begins at 6:30. You can hear all 3 of those games right here on 1010 a.m. And then number 20 FSU, big conference game for the Noles. They are at number 12 Wake Forest. And that 3-game series begins tonight at 6 o'clock. UNF is at Stetson. JU is at West Georgia. And your bi-weekly gymnastics update.
Oh, Tommy waits for these.
I know he does.
How's the beam?
He's going to be sad when he realizes,
Oh,
well,
no.
the beam is great, but he's going to be sad when he realizes that this is the final regular season meet
No way.
of the season.
Wow.
Yeah, so
But
up
it's okay,
next will be the
postseason.
SEC. That's true, but Florida is at number 22, Kentucky tonight. That meet begins at 7 p.m. on SEC Network.
All right. What are they ranked right now?
Florida's ranked 3rd in the country.
3rd.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oklahoma, LSU, Florida. Even though Florida beat LSU last week, it still, remember, goes on the NQS,
Right.
which are the average scores from every meet, and they take the average of those. So still 3rd in the country. I will
Go
take
Gators.
it. Thank you. Thank you very
I
much.
did a gator chomp earlier for Frank and Hayes.
Did you?
They
Did you
asked,
really?
yeah. And I didn't know there was a
None
like
for me?
Well, because I just was like, they were like, oh, we're going to go watch the game. And I just said, okay, go Gators. And he was like, can you do a Gator chomp? I was like, oh, I mean, I guess.
Did you
and
do
but
right
I
over
didn't,
left?
I didn't know that was a thing, but I did.
over left.
And Frank was like, good job because you did right over left. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a way. But then I went to do it the other way. Also feels weird. I don't know how you would just automatically go. And maybe if you were left-handed,
I suppose.
my left hand doesn't work properly. So
I don't know if anybody's does if they're right-handed, but yeah, I forgot to tell y'all that during the river run, I wore a bunch of Gator stuff, and so throughout the run, I am not one of those people that can easily just like talk and run the whole time. So I would just Gator chomp to people
when they
wearing
were saying
Gator
go Gators,
stuff, yeah, or they would say go Gators. My shorts had Gators on them, and so yeah, I would just do that, and then they'd be like, go Gators, but I was like, I don't have the breath to do
I
go
gotta
Gators
save
for
my
9.3 miles. I just
At BC,
don't
we
have
go
it.
like this.
You'd fly.
Yeah, like an
like
eagle.
angels in the
Yeah,
outfield.
we just fly around. Yeah.
And that works too. People
No
knew what
kidding.
you're talking about. By the way, now 56 to 43. That is correct. A little under 9 minutes
Getting
left
tighter.
to play.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was
Tucky
hoping
coming
that
back.
I'd be able anywhere on the course to be able to watch the game on my phone, but you have to be close to Wi-Fi because obviously there are so many people out here and
Mhm.
everybody's competing for cell phone service.
That corner over there in our tent is really good for picking up the internet. For the
Yes.
record.
Stand it if you need a Wi-Fi corner.
Over there, by the sweaters
You
that
can
we're
put,
holding.
yeah, you can put some random lady's sweater on. That works too. All right, more to do on the other side. Let's get into some NFL news. Kyler Murray, 1 year to the Vikings, and some other NFL stuff to discuss. You're listening to Helmets and Heels live here at Trucks on 10, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you.
the games, the practices, the press conferences.
The crowd was unbelievable. They were involved the whole game.
Home of the Jaguars. 1010XL 92.5 FM. The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Back Spink here once again with another Players Championship update. This one brought to you by Purple Heart Pools. It's moving day out at the Players, and the projected cut line right now is currently inside of 1 over par. Some pretty big names teetering along that cut line. World number 1, Scotty Scheffler, is currently sitting at even. It's been an up and down day for him through the first 4 holes. That driver is still trying to work on it, but he's he birdied number 2, but he bogeyed number 4. Brooks Koepka sitting at even par. Some guys, like Patrick Cantlay at 1 over. Daniel Berger, who lost in that playoff in the Arnold Palmer Invitational last weekend. So Rory McIlroy, he birdied his last hole of the day finish on number 9 today. To get inside the cut line at 1 over. So good looking for him. And then up at the top of the leaderboard, Xander Schauffele still 10 under par in the clubhouse as the leader in Ludwig Oberg. Maybe the player of the day. He's hunting for a course record potentially today, which would be 62 out there. Birdies on 1, eagle on 2, and birdies on 3 and 4. So stay tuned with us. We'll be back in about another 20 minutes for another update. This one was brought to you by Pour Tap Room.
Hey, Tommy Mack here. When it comes to glass, you don't want average, you want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow, mirrors cut exactly to your style, fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to our Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. There's only one name for glass and mirror around here, and it's Duval.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament. You can enter the bracket challenge at 1010XL.com right now. Monday morning, you can make your picks. Then when the tourney starts Thursday, print your bracket out and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free Budweiser. And the bracket challenge winner gets 2 tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Bowden Iron Associates.
Friday.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlion. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory-backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship-level service as a brand new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
All right, Jackson, let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If your lawn took a beating this winter, listen up. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They've just started the first of 3 rounds of premium granular fertilizer. No cheap liquid fertilizer here. Custom blended for Northeast Florida lawns. Their certified technicians apply slow-release nutrients. Rebuild your lawn thick, strong, and green over time. Plus, they protect your home from pests and termites. Call Julington Creek Pest Control today. Our family serving yours since 1984.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Not yet, RJ, not yet. This is, of course, Won't Back Down by Tom Petty, and I'm teasing RJ just because Florida has not yet won the men's basketball game in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. About 7 minutes left to play. They're in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. 56-44 is the lead for the University of Florida and the Fighting Gators.
Pulling away.
Not
yet.
Not comfortable yet with that lead.
Who's in the other semifinal? To play the
so these
the
are
winner.
quarterfinals.
Oh, I thought you said semifinal. Okay.
These
worries.
are the quarterfinals in the ACC men's basketball tournament. They have reached the time where they've made it to the semifinals. And so when FSU lost last night to Duke, I don't know if y'all were watching that game, but FSU had a chance with the ball down by 1.
Really?
Yeah. And Rob McCray, the former JU player, had the ball, and people say he should have driven to the basket, obviously, gotten fouled, and then gone to the free throw line, shot 2, and then they could have won. But instead, he went up for 3, missed the 3. So, I mean, it all happens so fast. It's always hard for me to criticize these guys.
Split second, time ticking. You have a second left.
Right. But, I mean, I do feel like the fundamentals of basketball you're taught at a fairly young age, down by 1, you got to get fouled.
Yeah.
And especially, too, he's a shooting guard. So,
Right.
or the point guard. So he could easily, usually would make those free throws. But
should hit a 3-2 as a point guard, I mean.
And I mean,
If you're a shooter.
Duke is a better basketball team than Florida State.
Yeah.
However, Florida State's been playing pretty well. I think they'd won like 5 out of 6, and Duke was missing a couple players. So
Right.
that was why it
Yeah,
ended
the
up
one
being
kid's
close.
out for the year, right?
The Caleb Foster
tournament?
guy, I know he's out for the ACC tournament, and then I think we'll get an update
Okay.
as it gets closer. But to answer your question, as far as the other semifinals in the SEC tournament, Tennessee Vanderbilt, that game is at 3:30. Florida will play the winner of that game tomorrow at 1 p.m. if Florida wins this game. So if Florida holds on, they'll face the winner of Tennessee and Vanderbilt, and that's Tennessee's a 5 seed, Vanderbilt's a 4 seed, so that's pretty even there.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the other two, as far as quarterfinals go, Ole Miss, Alabama. Ole Miss 15 seed. Ole Miss beat Georgia last night. Mike White led Georgia going up against a 2 seed in Alabama. So in theory, Alabama wins that one if you're looking at chalk. And then 11 seed Oklahoma would take on 3 seeded Arkansas. Oklahoma
All right.
beat Texas A&M last night.
And Sunday's the selection Sunday, right?
Sunday is selection Sunday.
Is there
You got
their
that
playing game like every year? Will there be a playing game, or do they do
for
that?
selection Sunday will announce the two. I think it's 2 or 4 playing games. To get from 68 to 64. And then in the ACC tournament, since you were wondering, it's going to be Miami versus Virginia, so a 3 seed versus a 2 seed there, and then Clemson versus Duke, a 5 seed versus a 1 seed. So Clemson earlier in the season was playing really good basketball and then kind of fell out of the top 25, but that should be an interesting game. That one is tonight at 9:30, and Miami versus Virginia is tonight at 7 p.m. So lots of stuff going on in the sports world, but let's get it to the NFL. Kyler Murray, Taylor, going to the Vikings, 1-year contract worth $1.3 million. He has familiarity with Kevin O'Connell. He's excited. He grew up a Vikings fan. As someone who roots for a team in the division, does that make you a little nervous?
Not really. I've never been the biggest Kyler fan, even from the start. I feel like he's always been like good. Like he had, there's talent there, obviously, and you see moments when he can be efficient and obviously make big throws and things like that. But I just think that he is small, and like I know that's a big joke, but it has been when you talk about. I mean, Tua's one of the smaller guys, Bryce Young's one of the smaller guys, Kyler, and all of those guys. You just see like them struggle at certain times. I think it was Tua that, at one of his press conferences this last year, was like, I couldn't see over my lineman. I'm like, I don't know if you want to say that out loud, but we joke about it. But I think there's realness to it in a sense of like some of these guys that they have to kind of see things around. Yes, there's passing lanes and all of that stuff. You want those things to happen. But the one thing I will say, I mean, Kevin O'Connell's incredible, and I've talked about it before of the sense I think he's one of the better offensive coaches in the league when it comes to developing guys and getting the best out of quarterbacks. You saw Kirk Cousins have his best years. Obviously, Sam Darnold. The kind of the resurgence of what Sam Darnold is, and then what that carried over to Seattle. Even in times when Josh Dobbs had to come in and play, Josh Dobbs was playing good football under him. JJ McCarthy, you haven't.
An astronaut.
Yeah, he's very smart. JJ McCarthy, though, you haven't, and that's one of kind of the bigger thing to me. Are the Vikings already saying we screwed up with the JJ McCarthy thing, or are they saying, hey, let's just bring a veteran guy in here to kind of battle, and maybe Kyler can sit a year, and JJ can sit a year behind Kyler, learn some things, and then maybe you develop him that way. So it'll be interesting to see the approach from the Vikings in that sense, because you miss a whole year from JJ McCarthy from injury the first year. Last year he also was injured, so maybe some of it's that is injury prone. Kyler also has had a lot of injury issues throughout his career too. But I still think that they have to be looking ahead a little bit of like, did we make the right choice, the wrong choice? And last year when JJ was in, every stat you see is he was one of the worst in the last decade. EPA and QBR and all of those numbers. And granted, is it super fair to do that after, not even a full season of playing in the NFL? Probably not. But you do have to start coming up with a plan. And Kevin O'Connell's a smart coach. And if he's not seeing it, then maybe there's something there where he's hitting not panic button, but let's try and figure something out button.
Well, I think with Kyler Murray, although he is short in stature, his arm is elite and his feet are elite. So if Kevin O'Connell can fix him, that's the theme these days. Can you fix your quarterback and get him right for your system? I could see where the Vikings are like, hell yeah, we want Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Maybe we can change him. Maybe we can get him more dedicated. Maybe we can work on his game. Maybe he's open to it now that he's been humbled and Arizona doesn't want him anymore. And maybe we can bring him in here and get him right. And it's not out of the question that Kevin O'Connell can do that. And if he does that, I mean, you got a piece of clay there that's pretty outstanding physically.
Yeah.
Everything else you got to figure out. But I agree with you on J.J. McCarthy, man. It's one of those things. You throw those rookies into the fire and they're not ready, and then they get hurt or they get, bamboozled by the rush and getting hit and seeing everything and not being able to figure it out mentally and get frustrated and then you start to wonder.
Yeah.
We all know, I mean, we've been over this conversation. Darnold's a perfect example. How sometimes it fits right away, and those quarterbacks, they figure it out year 1, year 2, year 3. Sometimes it takes year 5, year 6.
And sometimes it
Just
takes
depends.
a change of scenery. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just that Sam Darnold got to study under Kevin O'Connell and then got to go to Seattle where the defense was really good. He was in he played for 5 different teams,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's just a change of environment.
Yep.
For him, obviously multiple times, but for Kyler Murray, it may be a breath of fresh air to
Yeah.
just be outside of that Arizona bubble. Because once a team, this, Tom, once a franchise dislikes their quarterback, especially vehemently dislikes, there's
It turns
almost no
quickly.
breathing room. And no matter what the quarterback does, Trevor Lawrence is one of the few that was kind of
Yeah.
able to turn the tide of some people.
Yeah. Yeah, by doing it, by
playing
doing the
well.
work,
Yeah.
doing the work and playing well, and maybe Kyler's going to do that. I'll say for Darnold, because I remember we talked about it, and it was kind of a national thing, like spending time with Kyle Shanahan at San Fran makes you a better quarterback.
Yeah.
Even though you're not starting,
Right.
and you can go. The players that have gone through there, even for a year, half a year, they've gotten some kind of tutelage, something the way that Kyle, does
They
with his
learn to
quarterbacks.
study the proper way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Caleb Williams. And once you get someone that teaches you the right way to study film, that can change everything.
Yeah.
It's the it's got to be the pre-snap.
Pre-snap,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's got to be like where I got to have a general, even better than a general, more specific idea of where this ball's going on every single play
Yeah.
before the ball's even snapped.
And one of the things that I do think will benefit when it comes to Kyler and Minnesota is what I was hearing reports out of Minnesota. Some of the most frustrating pieces of what Kevin O'Connell was dealing with is that J.J. McCarthy was, terrible at middle field. Like, he could not throw to the middle of the field, and that's a lot of KOC's game and what his offenses look like. So mid-season, from what I heard, around like week 7 or 8, they had to shift their whole entire offensive game plan to fit what JJ could do, because he couldn't do those intermediate midfield throws, and that's what Kyler's really good at, because he can move around, find lanes, get it to the middle of the field, and you have guys, you have 2 weapons in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, then you add Hawkinson into that, so you have the weapons there that can help you. So it will be interesting to see how they do this. Is it a true battle through camp, or are they going to say, Kyler, this is your job, and JJ, you have to earn it if you want it? What that looks like will be interesting.
And sometimes that's really good for a quarterback, be it J.J. McCarthy in this situation, to have someone else come in and compete with you. And you learn a lot about someone when their feet are put to the fire, and it's not just their job.
Yeah.
And obviously, J.J., when he was drafted, they already had a quarterback, so in Sam Darnold. So it's not like he hasn't been part of competition. But then once they let Sam go, the job was
Like, here's
gifted to
yours.
him,
Yeah.
right? And coming off that injury, it just didn't look good.
Coaches know if you don't have the QB, you're going towards the end of your tenure. If you don't figure out that QB position,
And it's the GM's
it's
job
the
really
beginning
to
to the
figure out
end.
the quarterback, but yet your entire career pretty much rides on that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and it used to be more black and white as far as you either have a franchise quarterback or you don't. And that's been the interesting part about the Baker Mayfields and the Sam Darnolds and what we've seen them the success they've been able to have, because now maybe these teams will have a little bit more patience with the younger guys and say, no, instead of saying you're not our QB after 2 or 3 years, let's give you maybe 5 years and pick up the 5th year option.
The coach doesn't get that. That's where it's got to be the organization, and that's hard.
You have to be in alignment,
all
though,
that,
to
right.
yeah.
Well,
to
and then
have
that's
the
hard
patience.
for the quarterback, because you're telling the quarterback to learn 3 different offensive systems or 2 different offensive systems, and then that's delaying the development, because you're focusing on new playbooks. I mean, we saw that with Trevor now with multiple offensive coordinators. Caleb Williams, that's one of them, and just 2 seasons having to deal with. He had 3 offensive play callers in 1 year, and that's
Baker
hard
had
for
8
players.
out of 9 years.
And you have to make sure you have the right offensive play caller that gels with the quarterback too. Just because they have an offensive coordinator and a head coach, the same ones over
doesn't mean it's
a
the right
3-year
one.
span,
That's right.
doesn't doesn't mean that. But we have reached kind of a point in the NFL where if you have the franchise quarterback, you're willing to discard the GM and you're willing to discard the head coach.
Yeah, they're number
well,
one.
the Bills didn't discard the GM. They did, though, the head coach. They made sure that Josh Allen is still obviously there.
Well, the money's so big, the
That you're paying the quarterback.
Yeah, he's always gonna have that leverage over the coach.
You're paying a quarterback in today's day and age around between $45 and $55 million per year. You're
Right.
paying an NFL coach probably around $15 million per year.
Yeah,
So
depending
there's-
on the coach.
Yeah,
right.
depending on the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, Kentucky is on a 14-10 scoring run over the last 7 minutes and 30 seconds, but Florida does
just made
still
it free.
lead. Yeah, Hauk made the free throw, so it's 60-46 with
Oh.
5:35 left to play.
That's good.
I am still nervous, as you
14
can imagine,
points to go with
because
5 to go.
It's basketball.
Right? Yeah. it'll be
Yeah.
all right.
All right, when we return, Gary Smith from the Times Union will join us. He'll break down all things Players Championship and more. You are listening to Helmets and Heels live from Trucks on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Greenlaw Group on 1010X, the First Coast's biggest event of the year. The Players Championship. Track your favorite golfers and get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by G&H Tire Service, Michelob Ultra, and Sawgrass Asset Management on 1010XL, the Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard update.
Max Fink here once again, bringing you another update. This one's brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting and Wingstop. Former Florida Gator Ricky Castillo, he's a PGA Tour rookie. This is his first ever appearance at the Players Championship. He's playing pretty well out there. He's 2 under. He's 1 under today, 2 under on the round, tied for 26th with big names like Akshay Matia, Max Homa, Minwoo Lee, and Hideki Matsuyama. Castillo's had some success as of recent. He won last week at the Puerto Rico Open. So he's been playing some good golf, and he was a member of that 2023 Gators Team National Championship on the golf course. So good to see a Gator out there playing pretty well. Xander Schauffele still alone at the top of the leaderboard, 10 under par. Great round for him today. He had 8 birdies total. He's out on the range, continuing to dial in. He'll have an afternoon tee time tomorrow. Just behind him, it's Cam Young at 9 under par. Corey Connors and Ludwig Oberg at 8 under. Sepp Straka alone at 7 under. Lee Hodges and Jacob Bridgman at 6 under. And then a decent amount of guys at 5 under and 4 under. So we've seen some decent scoring earlier on, a couple, about an hour ago, but it's started to slow off. So we'll see where we go from here. We've got another update coming for you soon. For now, this one's been brought to you by LiveForeverGolf.com.
Mike Dempsey. If you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
Bowden Iron Associates, Helmets and Heels Friday.
Yo, E.T. here. And you know that on the field, preparation wins championships, right? Well, the same goes for your health. Right here in my side of town in Fleming Island, Encore Research Group is helping locals take charge through cutting-edge research studies. Everything from weight loss to diabetes and hypertension. Their team of local, multi-specialty doctors is focused on advancing medicine and keeping our community healthy. If you want to see if you qualify, check them out at EncoreDocs.com.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available, ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
At G&H Tires and Service, the G stands for great pricing. The H, well, that means honest service. For over 20 years, Roger and his team have helped Jacksonville drivers stay safe on the road. Need brakes? Oil change? AC not blowing cold? Well, how about a super affordable $36 oil change? Affordable brake jobs, AC checks before summer hits, alignments for all these construction roads, and even free check engine light inspections. Locally owned, community driven. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard.
Homeowners, you taking a look at your lawn yet? Let me guess, you're looking at your lawn wondering what to do after a historically cold season. Well, if you want your lawn to bounce back quick, you gotta call topdressing.com. Nobody else can do what they do, their proprietary process. I've never seen anything like it, and neither will your neighbors. They will have your lawn looking like a golf course. Nobody else can do it. They're no secret now, so get ahead of it. Call for a free estimate. Be the envy of your neighbors. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate's mascot and brand ambassador.
Why do you even talk in these ads?
People see me on the trucks, Brendan, so they expect to hear from me as well.
But I have over a decade's experience personally installing high-quality polymer floors right here in Jacksonville.
Well, I'm a professional mascot, riding around on the side of your trucks, smiling at passers-by.
Then could you at least tell people about our two-stage polymer application process? Give your garage the finishing touch with a gorgeous floor that's guaranteed to last?
A bit busy posing for selfies, I'm afraid.
Years of experience?
Check. Adorable mascot?
Check. The team you need to make your garage gorgeous? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Cause you're a sky full of stars.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl. I'm Lauren Brooks. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters. We are live here at Trucks on 10 as the wonderful golf expert Gary Smits joins us from the Times Union. That's right, Gary, you're our golf expert. Have you seen a round like Xander Schauffele's 7 under today recently?
No, as a matter of fact, what I wrote is it wasn't the course record. It wasn't even bogey-free, but it was about as good as anybody could hope to play on this course and the conditions is in with a little bit of wind out there and everything. Right. He hit every fairway, and of course the rough is brutal. That's one way to avoid it. And he only missed 2 greens, and he got up and down for par both times, and his only bogey was on a 3-putt at number 13, which can happen to anybody. So the 65 course record 62, but it's enough to get him in the lead. I was looking back on it, and he didn't leave any strokes out there. So he had a really good run. He started on 10, so he had a pretty good run out there. And the impressive shots were 14. He hit it to within inches, and that's a very hard hole. Making a birdie there is like picking up a stroke and a half on everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and a pretty good shot on 15. So and then he finished with a birdie on the hardest par 3 and a birdie on the hardest par 5.
Well,
not bad.
That's right.
Really good.
What about Gary, with momentum? I'm sure during the course of a day, there's definitely momentum. But what about day to day? Like, can you come, like if you're Xander, can you carry that into tomorrow? Like, is that real like it is, in other sports?
Well, if you're talking about the first 2 rounds, you'd love to shoot that kind of round in the afternoon in the first round and then have a morning tee time. And then just get right to it.
Hopefully it carries over.
And, but then it can be strange. Jordan Spieth had a late tee time yesterday, double bogeys his last hole. Mm-hmm. Comes in today, he's playing early, bogeys his first hole, and then he goes crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, make all kinds of birdies and everything. Looks like he's within 2 shots of the lead at one point, and then he double bogeys 9. So both days in a row he double bogeyed his last hole. I'm sure that's not going to make everything feel better. Dinner's not going to taste real good for.
But
for
he
Jordan.
did finish 4 under today.
Yeah,
Jordan Spieth,
he shot a
3 under for the tournament.
Yeah, he got a 68 with a bogey and a double bogey.
Wow.
And he did some Jordan Spieth like things. He made birdie on 2 holes where he hit trees off the tee.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. hit a tree on 18 and bounced out there, and he had but it kicked a little bit forward, so he only had 158 into the green, and made a 6-foot putt for birdie, and then on 2, he hits a tree and only goes about 200 yards. Then he hits 2 layup shots, and he's right in front of the green. He makes a 49-footer off the front fringe.
Yeah.
So there are some guys who have a knack for that. Seve Ballesteros used to have a knack for that. Ben Crenshaw used to do stuff like that. And Jordan is kind of the modern-day version of Seve Ballesteros, and he'll make some unforced errors, which is exactly what happened on 9. Mm-hmm. He's in the left rough off the tee, and he can't get out of the left rough, and then he winds up in that bunker left of the green, and a lot of times you can't even see the flag from there. So he was very frustrated afterwards, but he talked about how he played a heck of a lot better than that score, and the score was a 68. So who knows?
Right.
I guess he doesn't double that, and then he's working on a 66, makes a couple more putts, and he's right there.
Yep.
Are there preferences for the golfers, or depending on day, weather, what that looks like, if they want to start on 1 or 10, like the preference of what they like?
I haven't heard them say one way or another. Now, most golf courses designed in the last 40 or 50 years will try to make, if they are a golf course that aspires to host a PGA Tour event, or if it's built for that purpose, like this one, they'll make 1 and 10 relatively the same.
Okay.
1 and 10 here, there's a little bit of difference, but more or less 420-yard par 4s.
Mm-hmm.
So the guys starting on 1 or 10 don't necessarily have a competitive advantage or disadvantage by doing that.
Unless it's windy, you would want to get 17 when the wind died down. Today, you would have wanted to start on 1 and then play 17 later.
And, well, that's the funny part about it is, and you're going to start 1 round in the morning and 1 round in the afternoon. Well, yesterday, after the front came through, the wind died in the afternoon. That's why the scores was good. I had never seen so many guys from the afternoon group work their way onto the leaderboard like I did. Sometimes the top 10 doesn't change at all when the wind kicks up in the afternoon, but it was kind of the reverse. Now, I think it's probably going to kick up a little bit more this afternoon, at least more than it did yesterday afternoon. But, that's the way she goes. I'll never forget, ESPN got out of the golf business on a regular basis. They used to have a fair amount of the early round coverage, and then they started bugging the PGA Tour about, well, we want Tiger and Phil to play in the afternoon both days. So you're not going to get Tiger and Phil to agree to that because they're not going to play both days where the greens are marked up a little bit.
Correct.
Right.
And maybe they get the win both days.
Yeah.
And then because they're Tiger and Phil, they're usually going to get afternoon tee times in the 3rd and 4th round because of their scores.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they're not going to play
4 days of that.
So ESPN wanted the tour to put guys at a competitive disadvantage just because they wanted the stars on their telecast.
Well, if ESPN was smart, they would have started or kept the golf, but started it in the mornings and actually broadcast the golf throughout the day.
Exactly. You could have
versus only having it turn on later in the day.
They could have said, "We'll do it from 10 to 2, and then from 2 to 4, whatever the heck."
Yeah. Quick update when it comes to the SEC men's basketball tournament. Florida now up 63-56, and Houck just made another free throw. So 64-56, 2.5 minutes left to play in that game.
I haven't listened to a whole lot of radio because I've been out there today. You guys have been giving some props to the JU ladies, haven't you?
We haven't yet given props to JU women's basketball or Bishop Kenny girls basketball.
Okay.
Bishop Kenny, who
but
won
you'll
last
you'll
night.
get to that, right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, the JU women on Sunday night, they're having a selection show watch party. Well, the selection show is happening on Sunday. Yeah, and they're having a watch party at Strings in Jack's Beach.
Yeah.
So go out and find out who JU is going to play in the NCAA tournament. And then I told them when I saw Liam Cohen last week at the wine tasting gala, I said, thank you so much for giving women's basketball, the Bishop Kenny girls basketball.
Oh, yeah.
We're multitasking here, taking pictures
No,
with our
You guys
new
are nice
mugs.
Doing it all.
That was great of Liam to give them.
But yeah, Liam went
so
and talked to them for like 20 to 30 minutes, and so I was like, thank you for doing that. Not that he knew that that's my alma mater by any means, but it doesn't really matter. It's just awesome that they were able to win, and led by Shay Donovan, 16 points, and she's the one who plays both soccer and basketball, girls basketball, and the girls soccer team also did really well.
Cool.
But yeah, so there's the shout outs. We did it while Gary was
There you go. love
What about Ludwig Aberg,
Right.
though, from Nocatee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweden, Texas Tech, and Nocatee. And
What the path.
he started birdie, eagle, birdie, birdie.
Yeah.
And he's come down to earth with 2 pars in a row. So
Nice.
that guy's got all the shots.
Yeah.
He
How
does.
are the greens right now?
He was
Gary?
one of my
Are
guys, so
are
I
they
need him.
fast?
By the way, 9 eagles in the first round. I saw.
Yeah.
Wow.
9 eagles.
They only had about 2/10 of an inch of rain
Okay.
yesterday. As hard as that looked, the director of
Gone
agronomy
out.
reported back that it was 0.15 inches. So the guys were talking about in the practice rounds about how firm they are. So they didn't get really that much softer. Maybe a little bit for the afternoon guys, but that's one thing that Sandra Schaufel made a point of saying that they're not going to get any softer.
Right.
Because
Right.
not going to rain tomorrow, and then nobody's quite sure how much we're going to get on Sunday. But
When I was looking, by the way, not that I'm a genius or that smart when it comes to weather, but my weather app shows rain at like 9 o'clock. It's between like 7 and 9 o'clock on Sunday night. So even though the percentages of now, if you just pull up like your phone for
Okay.
6
It's high,
Sunday,
but it's just
it
later
says
in the day.
65%. But I am hoping, obviously, like the rest of
Gotta
the
ask
team
Justin
is here.
Thomas.
That's right. We'll ask
could-
Justin Thomas with his weather app.
and they could move the tee times like they did last year. They moved the
Move
tee
them
times.
up.
Of course,
Which
that
I
didn't
think is
help
smart, but-
because the storm came earlier than they thought, and it lasted longer than they thought. And we were still only 1 putt away from, if J.J. Spahn makes that putt at the end, then he wins it outright.
Right, but I think if they move the tee times up a little bit on this Sunday, I think they'll be able to get everything in before any weather.
J.J. Spahn's ball rolls one more
Right,
quarter of
I
a turn.
know.
Does Rory win the Masters?
Probably not.
If he doesn't, because he had that Players Championship, he had a
Correct.
3-shot lead at the back 9, and then you would have that old narrative about Rory can't hold the lead anymore. And I'm just wondering if that would have affected him.
Yeah, I
at
don't
all.
think so.
You never
so
know.
he's
You never
happy
know.
about that. All right, so some names at the top of the leaderboard that I don't think people would necessarily expect: Lee Hodges, Austin Smotherman.
Cameron Young.
No, people expected him. That's
They
why you
would?
picked him.
I didn't
Alex
expect him.
Small.
People have been waiting for Cameron Young
Yeah.
to really win
Yeah.
a big tournament. He won his first last year at Greensboro, and he's one of those guys that came out of Wake Forest, and everybody thought he had a world of talent. And he showed it the first 2 days. Big strong kid, and I think he'll be fine. From what I understand, he's one of those guys that puts a little bit too much pressure on himself. Doesn't. If you watch him, he doesn't look like he's having fun. And now a lot of guys
find him.
A lot of guys have that tunnel vision.
Let get him have some
what's your
fun.
problem?
A lot of guys have that tunnel vision and everything. Austin Smotherman could have had the sole possession of the lead if he'd have made that 14-foot putt this morning. Knocks it 4 feet past. He's right now. Austin Smotherman's claim to fame is he played college golf with Bryson DeChambeau.
Right.
Oh wow.
And then in the California Junior, he beat Bryson DeChambeau.
Speaking of pressure, Denzel Aberdeen hit a 3 moments ago to put some pressure. Obviously, he's a former Florida Gator, now plays for the Wildcats, to put some pressure on Florida. But then just moments ago, Xavier Lee came back and hit a 3, and then Florida just stole the ball from Kentucky. And it looks like it's going to be a jump ball, and the possession will stick with Florida. So Florida up 69-61, 40.1 seconds left to play in the quarterfinals in Nashville.
Let me ask you this: last year's team or this year's Gator team, better than that last really good team?
The 2014 team?
Yeah. Patrick Young.
Yeah, the
Scotty
guards,
Wilbekin,
the guards
those
last
guys.
year would have taken last year's team above the 2014
Yeah.
team. Outside of Patrick Young, the bigs this year are better than the bigs in 2014.
Well, they're not. Are they? Is anybody better rebounder than Will you get, or a guy that does all the dirty work? Defensive.
Chinyelu.
things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Ruben Chinyelu, I would say,
All
yes.
right.
Who does
I was a big.
everything.
I was a big Will you get fan.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved Will you get.
Yeah.
I loved them all, Prather and Patrick and all those
But
guys.
but you're right. But see, Will and Patrick are really kind of the only, because the other guys, even though they listed them forwards, they were kind of
Right.
two guards. Casey Prather.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, who was the fourth guy I'm missing? And they didn't have a lot of depth at guard.
Yeah,
They had
they
that.
had Lee Humphrey.
No. This is after Lee Humphreys. They had that freshman Casey Hill.
Oh, Casey Hill.
Yeah, he was a freshman that year, and you didn't know what Casey was
This
going to
team
do when
has-
you threw him out there.
This Florida team has such incredible depth
Yeah.
that I think coaches from around the country are probably salivating over the roster that Todd Golden has. Because how many teams have a guy that's 7'1" and Micah Hanlogton coming off the bench?
Mm-hmm.
How many teams have a guy like Isaiah Brown who would probably start on the majority of Power 4 teams. Urban Klavjar coming off the bench with the ability to shoot threes. I mean, it just keeps going. CJ Ingram we saw recently play really well. Like it's really unbelievable, just the wave after wave of guys.
But at some point, they're going to have guards make threes in big situations in the NCAAs
And that's
or
what-
this tournament.
yeah,
and
Xavier and Lee
if
certainly
that's
just
happening
did.
more, then great.
11.9 seconds left to play. Florida is up 70-63, so 11.9.
That's it.
It is
Do you
not
think it's
over
in the
yet.
bag yet or not? LB, what do you
They're
say?
not.
Not until there's
Snow can make it
zeros
back.
on the clock. Look, Kentucky's a dangerous team. They've got guys that shoot really well in addition to Denzel Aberdeen. All right, back to the Players'
They're not blowing
Championship.
that.
That's why we have
Yeah.
you here. The way the leaderboard looks now, Gary, I know your original pick, Colin Morikawa, had to withdraw with that back injury, but
I had him too.
Yeah.
I know. Come on.
I get it. But now that you look at the leaderboard, who do you think, as of 3:30 on Friday, who do you think wins the tournament?
Schaufel's pretty good holding the lead. He's like a little bit of a bulldog, and his 2 majors he won a couple of years ago. And before he won those majors, he won he won the Tour Championship one year. That was when the Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup winner could have been different guys than it was. So he's pretty tough at the lead. Corey Connors is a guy that I've been waiting to win a major with the Players because he's very, very steady, doesn't do any one thing outstanding, but he's really, and Aberg, look, I was at Sea Island when that guy shot 61-61 on the weekend, and now it's a shorter course.
Yeah.
The weather was perfect. The wind hardly blew, which is a Sea Island course. You got to have wind blow to make it tough, but 61-61 is golfing your
yeah,
ball.
that's memorable.
I still don't think we can overlook Sepp Straka, but if you talk about guys that aren't necessarily in the top 10 right now, guys that are Justin Thomas, even though he's even through 6 holes and everything, he's coming off back surgery, but he's been here before. He's got a couple of majors behind him, so I'd say watch out for that guy.
All right. Well, good stuff, Gary. We so appreciate you joining us. I know you would have yesterday if we were out here, but we were, of course, not here because of the weather. So thank you so much for
No
all
problem.
your expertise.
Always enjoy it.
All right,
Is it over?
Not yet. Oh,
Yeah,
it just went final. Just went final.
71-63.
I was afraid they were going to call a foul, but yeah.
Who they
Florida
playing?
wins
Who they playing
71-63. They'll
next?
play the winner of Tennessee Vanderbilt.
Okay.
So that game is
Another
supposed to
W.
tip off at 3:30, but of course that game will be delayed because this one just went final. But I will take that victory all day. More to do on the other side. Thanks again to Gary Smits for joining us this week. It's Helmets and Heels 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. The past comes to life in the present.
And the Jaguars are going to the playoffs.
The memories bridge the gap to the future.
From 27-0 to win the game.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL. The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard update.
We're back again with another Players' Championship update. I'm Max Fink, and this one is brought to you by Capital Glass and Shower Doors and Taco Lou. That featured group of Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, and Justin Thomas is moving right along. They're on hole number 7 right now. Everybody with a decent look. Scotty Scheffler is still struggling, missing right with that driver. It was a problem for him all day yesterday, and then he hit the range for hours with his coach, and Randy Smith, trying to work on it. And that first tee shot of the day earlier, he missed right, and he's still struggling to hit fairways. Number 7, he missed right again. So we'll see. Brooks Koepka just birdied 7 and 8 back-to-back to get himself to 2 under par, and he's got a par 5, the 9th hole coming up next. So another good opportunity to get even lower. And Gary Woodland, fan favorite, old Kansas Jayhawk, he just got a huge birdie on 18 to move inside the projected cut line as of right now at 1 over par. So lots of moving going on here. Friday moving day at the Players, always a lot of action. So we'll bring you some more coverage here in about 20 minutes. This is another Players Update brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
You've heard of spring cleaning, but there's something even better than that. Spring cleaning and organizing. This is Lauren Brooks, and I love our organized closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry room, storage for any space and budget. Make an appointment today to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway. And listen to this, get 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Picken here.
Thank
Experience
you.
crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, enhanced by Bowden Iron Associates.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com. Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal.
Stand back, Jason. I'm gonna
Sneeze? Yeah, I saw that coming.
It's all this spring pollen, Jason. It's outside and it's inside my house, and I just can't stop. I can't stop.
Sneezing? Okay, let me help you with that.
How can you help?
At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can improve your indoor air quality with air purifiers, UV lights, and filtration systems. Every new system we install includes high-efficiency 4-inch filters that work better and last longer, even if you forget to change them.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Life can get pretty dusty sometimes. If you spend all day, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
When you buy online, you really cannot tell because you're not looking at the stone. So it's impossible to buy a stone online that you can really see everything about it. You have to buy a diamond in person.
That's John Lupo at Beard's Diamonds, who says one big mistake is trying to buy a diamond online. Because each diamond is unique, you need to examine it for yourself.
Otherwise, you can get fooled, you can get tricked, and that's not a good thing when you're spending thousands of dollars.
At Beard's, John's son Ben says they give each customer the ability to compare multiple diamonds in their price range. Not just on paper, but up close inside and outside.
Go outside in the natural daylight. That's the best test to be able to see the exact color in the stone, see the brilliance in the stone, and the fire and the scintillation, which is very, very important.
People want to know what they're spending this money on, and they also want to be protected.
That's why Beards takes it a step farther with a money-back guarantee and a trade-up policy that guarantees you will always get what you paid when you upgrade. Buy with confidence at locally owned Beards Diamonds in St. John's Town Center.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment today is how beautiful it is. I mean, you couldn't ask for better.
I thought you were going to say how beautiful I am.
You are too beautiful. You are beautiful.
No, I meant yourself.
Oh, no, I would not say that about myself.
I know. Your hat's beautiful.
I do love this hat. I went and got a new hat at the pro shop. Still plenty of hats in there, by the way, if anybody's looking for some merch still, because and that's one of my favorite things is coming out every year. I go get one new hat, and that's kind of like my summer hat for, they have very summer vibes because there's a lot of bright colors. And this one, what is it, like a coral or is it pink?
It's more of a coral.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of good hats in there, but there's the weather. I love
This is pink.
That's pink.
coral, and
Yeah.
your shirt's like tangerine.
Yeah.
Sure.
And my hat's more like tangerine as well.
Yes. Yeah, your hat's more close. It's closer
Yeah.
to my shirt.
What kind of blue does Hayes have on? Let's go around the room.
That's royal
It's a gator blue.
The royal blue.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had to have orange and blue on, so that's how I came up with my combination.
Right.
for
Gators
today.
or anything, Lauren will have her gator blue and orange on.
I
for
honestly,
sure.
so I left the house today without the hat that I've worn for every Gator game now for the past probably like year and a half. And so I was driving out of the driveway and I was like, I have orange and blue on, but I don't have my lucky hat. And I was like, you don't need it. It's going to be okay. Don't be that person. So I left it at home. So we can win even without the lucky hat.
Yeah, so
That's
you
the
don't
good
need it.
news,
There
everybody.
you go. You broke the spell.
That just
That's
means
right.
you're a good basketball team. They do
It
not
is a-
need you to wear the hat.
Also true. They are a good basketball team. Missed a couple free throws late, so I think that made some of us nervous. But yeah, went on to beat Kentucky, that's for sure. All right, want to get to James Gladstone. And one thing we talked about in our text chain, but haven't talked specifically on air about, I know you talked about it with Jaguars today earlier, Tom. But
Yep.
as far as that whole Max Crosby thing, James Gladstone said that some things just aren't true.
That wasn't necessarily something that we were actively engaged in. We're always communicating with other clubs on, the landscape of their thoughts. And I can tell you in particular, we never got down to a real dialogue exploring that.
Yeah, that's because you didn't have a first round
Yeah,
pick.
you didn't have any
You
money.
don't have the draft capital
You don't
they
have a
want.
first round pick. You called and said, hey, and they hung up because they knew what you had. I heard O'Halloran say earlier with XL Primetime that, this is what I've kind of expected in the sense, even with the Brian Thomas Jr. stuff too. I think people see, phone calls have been made and panic thinking that you're having these in-depth conversations about, we'll give you this, will you take this, and here, blah, blah. Some of the conversations and what O'Halloran said is sometimes it's just like, hey, what are you asking? Okay, bye.
Yeah, it's a job.
That's
Yeah,
true. It's
you're always
part
on
of
the
what you're
phone.
doing. And if you're not making those phone calls, then you're not doing your job because you're
Yeah.
always trying to improve your roster and everybody's making phone calls on a daily basis about what it will take. Sometimes just to listen to see the market for other players too. Like, okay, if this player is valued at X amount,
Sure.
then we know we can get, whatever the case may be, if you're looking to actually make a move. So sometimes it's not even specifically for that player. Sometimes it's just to get information around the league and what things
Yeah.
are looking at and the value of position groups.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, his number one job is to protect the organization and the players. He is. So whether they made the call, didn't make the call, got close, didn't get close, weren't involved at all. At the end of the day, what he said at the end was, look, we got to make sure Brian Thomas, he can handle this. Like, we don't want, and we were saying that all throughout the week when it first came out, like Brian Thomas in a first round pick, like, man, and you don't get it. And then Brian Thomas, with the way the perception is that he can be, influenced by that, get down in the dumps, whatever the case may be, and he doesn't want that. So to address that, I thought that was interesting. You could have just said, we weren't interested, we weren't involved. That's it.
Yep.
He elaborated on the Brian Thomas thing, which is whatever. Again, his job is to protect everybody. I found it interesting that he had to make that comment about Brian Thomas publicly when you could have done that very privately and just said, hey, BT, don't worry about it. I mean, we're not shopping you. End of story.
Kind of like the ETN stuff from a year ago, though. Like Liam Cohen, remember, just flat out said, we're not trading ETN. He's
Yeah.
not trade bait. So
Yeah.
you can
but he
stop
wasn't
that.
saying, I hope ETN's
Yeah, but
feelings aren't hurt
first of all,
because he's hearing this.
Right, and no pundits nationally were saying Jags are in it. Jags are in it. I mean, they're getting it from somewhere. I'm not saying that James is lying. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that, look, sometimes you do have to do some damage control, and you got to protect the shield. And the shield is part of the shield is your players. And look, you don't want Brian Thomas thinking that you were going to shop him. He seems a little fragile mentally in that regard. Is that fair to say? I think it is. And I think what James said was like, no, we're good. He's good. I just found it interesting that you had to say that publicly. That's all. At the end of the day, they weren't involved in the Max Crosby deal. No problem. Brian Thomas wasn't on the trade table, which is good because nobody else wanted him to be, including me. I thought that had been foolish. I think you ride with him.
And Gladstone
you
met with
go
the
there.
media. We were asking for that for a couple weeks, right? We were
Yeah.
asking more like the combine, but still, there was an availability. People were able to ask questions, and that's the good news.
Just win, baby.
That's right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, just win and everything's good.
Make us all smile on Sundays. All right, the Pest of the Day awaits on the other side. One segment to go before we turn it over to the Frangie Show live here at Trucks on 10. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Greenlaw Group Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Bowden Iron Associates.
Friday.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament. You can enter the bracket challenge at 1010XL.com right now. Monday morning, you can make your picks. Then when the tourney starts Thursday, print your bracket out and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free Budweiser. And the bracket challenge winner gets 2 tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, Underwoods has sold fine quality diamonds for a long time. Why is that important?
Frank, if you drew a line with the poorest diamonds with the lowest prices to the left and the highest quality to the right, our diamonds are at the far right end. Now, once we know the weight, the grading factors of cut, color, and clarity have to be considered. And the one that's talked about the least, but it's the most important to us, is the diamond's cut grade, because it has a huge implication on both the price and the beauty, and thus the value. I've bought diamonds for Underwoods for over 30 years, so I know what's out there, and the cut grade's just not important to most diamond sellers. That's really been the Underwood difference, because beautifully cut diamonds result in the most important thing they can do. They bring a joy of owning and wearing a diamond, not just today, but tomorrow and into the future. That's why it's important to us.
And it should be to you too, because nothing brings more joy than a diamond from Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra since 1928.
Instant Keys is turning 25, a quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For honest, professional locksmith service, use Instant Keys.
Homeowners, ready to open your home to spring and shut out high energy bills? It's 31 days of spring savings with Renewal by Andersen. Right now, buy 2 windows or doors and get the third 60% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. But this offer expires March 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Perhaps the 2 biggest names on the golf course, Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. Rory, so far today in the clubhouse, shot a 71, so he is 1 over for the tournament. So he was 1 under today, but 1 over for the tournament. And Scotty Scheffler, he is 1 over today. So currently on the golf course, he's played through 7, and so he is 1 over.
Any idea what the cut line will be?
Yes, projected cut line was 1 over.
1 over, wow.
Yeah. So right now, they would both make the cut. Obviously, things can change. But time now.
Mine would make the cut right now.
Yes, all of yours would. One of my guys would not, and that is Jake Knapp. He is 2 over, but he's only through 6, so he could certainly play
Yeah,
him
for
way
sure. How about Ricky
into-
Fowler? Where's my boy Ricky? I saw him earlier out there.
Ricky is 2
Does
under.
he look different to you?
He did.
Somebody
yeah.
texted me
He
and
had
said it
long
looks
hair.
like Ricky Fowler changes mufflers now.
He does, or he's in the porn business. I don't
goodness.
know. He had long hair and a mustache. I was like, Ricky, what are you doing, man?
Ricky's in the clubhouse. He was even today, so he shot a 72 today, so he's 2 under, like I said,
Attaboy.
for the
Good
tournament.
job.
But yeah, we'll update everyone on our golfers and, of course, the entire tournament on Monday. Time now for today's Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. The Pest of the Day today, the Big 12. The Big 12 had to transition from their LED, their innovative LED glass court, to the traditional glass court for the semifinals of the Big 12 tournament. But they had issues with people tripping and issues handling the basketball. So why didn't they make this change before the women's tournament had finished? Because the women's tournament also played on this LED thing. Look, I get that it looks cool, but
always.
just don't try to be cool, Brett Yormark. But yeah, Terminix takes care of Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and Our House. They do a fantastic job. And let's turn things over to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Smitter was in that chair before you, Hayes, so you can tell that you
must have been listening to.
You're good.
Let me try that again. He must have been listening to Iron Maiden in the 80s then, because he doesn't have a lot of hearing left, our good friend Smitter.
I
But,
feel like a lot of people we work
life and I'll
with
take yours
don't have the best of hearing.
I would say that's a fair assessment based on the headsets that I will randomly pick up around here. So,
All right, Florida wins. That was exciting. Not exactly a great game, obviously, by Todd Golden's squad, but still able to beat Kentucky for the 3rd time this season.
yeah, I mean, obviously a great season, continues as we knew it would. But yeah, for them to be the SEC regular season champs and sweep Kentucky in 3 games, I mean, everything else is icing on the cake. But yeah, real sloppy game. It just shows how hard it is to beat Florida. They shoot like 36%. They have 18 turnovers, and you would say, all right, well, that's a death sentence against a team that's clearly in the field. Kentucky will be at worst, probably a 6th seed. And so you would look at that and say, okay, well, Rusty going to get beat, one and done in Nashville, go home, get ready for the NCAA. They won, not convincingly, but fairly. They were never really in terrible danger.
Right.
I mean, I don't think Kentucky ever had a possession to cut it to like 5 or anything like that. Maybe, but it was pretty much. I mean, again, this is all you need to know. They've played Kentucky 3 times. Kentucky hasn't led a single minute in any of the 3 games.
Yeah, I think the closest was with about 5 minutes left to play. I think Florida was up by 5.
So it was, and it was a sloppy game, but again, just one of those games that highlights. I don't know who's going to knock Florida out. Either in this tournament or in the NCAA, but it's going to take a heck of an effort. And Florida didn't shoot it well at all today, but they get the win. So we'll see. They'll play Tennessee Vandy, the winner of that game tomorrow, and hopefully they'll be a little bit more in sync. Because, they were very hard for them to find a rhythm today, but they got it done. We'll certainly break that game down. We'll talk about Vandy, Tennessee. That game will start while we're on the air, and obviously we'll break down the afternoon round of the players. It's intriguing. Rory barely made the cut. We'll see if Scotty can make the cut. But boy, is Xander Schauffele playing great. Luke Vigoberg playing great. That's your pick, correct? Yeah, I mean that we talked
Cameron
about. You got Cam Young?
Yeah.
Tommy's like, hello.
How about
Don't
that?
forget about Cam.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
I have
selection.
Schauffele. He has Cam Young.
Wow.
She has
Okay,
Fleetwood
so
and
we've got
Aubert.
a shootout coming down the stretch.
right.
But yeah, we'll get to all that. Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship, will join us at 4:15, and Pete Prisco will join us at 5:15 to talk NFL and Jaguars. So it should be a fun Frangie show coming up.
Awesome. And Tom did pick Colin Morikawa, as did Frank. So that one, that one-
Did they let you replace Morikawa?
I didn't ask.
Yeah, because you're tough.
The answer would have been no. As Hayes is well aware, the answer would have been no.
But that's we didn't honestly even discuss what that means. for
So
our
here's
scoring,
what's going to happen. We're going to have to take the money that each golfer wins at the end of the tournament, and whoever has the most money is the one who wins our bet. Whoever has
Fair
the least
enough.
money loses the bet.
I wasn't sure if we were doing it by score or what, because
We
Joe
can't-
said they do it by score, and if it's a withdrawal or they don't, I'm trying to think of if they don't make the cut or whatever the case may be, you get a +8 or whatever.
Okay.
So I was like, I feel like that's going to get confusing. So the money works.
No, we're not doing that. +8 because
Well,
the guy
'cause
got
you
a
would
back
lose.
injury. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I said +20.
I think
Let's
it
make
makes
it
sense.
0.
20
Zero.
Yeah.
Nil.
Over 20 because you picked a
Nil.
golfer who couldn't even get through the first hole.
Exactly.
Cam Young, baby. Here we go.
But
Get it
also,
done.
side note, real quick, the Commanders signing a couple guys out of the AFC South. They just signed De'Ami Brown to a 1-year, $3 million, and then also Van Jefferson from
Okay.
also who was with the Titans last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so De'Ami back.
$7 million
to-
discount for Washington. Way to go. All right.
All right. Well, I have truly enjoyed this week. Thank you to the players, obviously, for having us out here at Trucks on 10. For Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next, right here live at Trucks on 10, 1010XL 92.5 FM.